A very good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the 38th fortnightly session on harnessing satellites and Geo-AI for water resources, exclusively for students from class 5th to 12th, organized by the Knowledge and Awareness Mapping Platform. I, Aniket Arora, convener, CAMP, will moderate this session today. Today we have with us Mr. Mohammed Saeed Ul Hassan, Assistant Professor, Alia University, Kolkata, Mr. Ashish Kumar Mittal, Project Director of CAMP, Ms. Harika Mathur, Product Head of CAMP, and of course, our amazing students who have joined us today. We extend a warm welcome and heartfelt thank you to each one of you. Thank you for being a part of this enlightening experience. Knowledge and Awareness Mapping Platform, as you know, is an initiative and knowledge alliance of CSIR NISPER, National Institute of Science Communication and Policy Research, Ministry of Science and Technology with industrial partner NCPL, NASA Communication Private Limited. Our speaker for this workshop, Mr. Saeed, is a highly motivated and dedicated researcher with a strong academic background and a passion for interdisciplinary research. Currently, he is actively engaged in his Doctor of Philosophy at the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Kharagpur. Moreover, he is a dedicated and accomplished researcher with a diverse skill set and a strong commitment to addressing environmental changes. His academic achievement, research, contribution, and active engagement in various activities demonstrate his passion for making a positive impact on the world. Today in this session, we will delve into the intricate realm of employing advanced technology to effectively manage and optimize the utilization of water resources. Our exploration will shed light on the innovative methods and tools that have revolutionized the field, offering sustainable solution and comprehensive understanding of water management in modern India. So how many of you are ready for this exclusive knowledge sharing session? Nice, great, wonderful, wonderful. That's amazing. Okay, but before we proceed with today's session, I would like to mention that registration for NASTA 2023 is open. Students from class 5th to 12th can conveniently register on our website at www.camp.res.in. Registered students can also get access to interesting podcasts, journals, and articles from CSIR NISPER under their student login. So visit our website to learn more about CAMP. I would also like to announce that this week, on the 6th November, CAMP conducted its scientific excursion, fostering over 100 scholars on inspiring journey at CSIO Chandigarh. This transformative excursion delved deep into the realms of science, technology, and innovation, igniting a spark curiosity and passion for the scientific exploration among the students. You can also see the photographs on Facebook. On Facebook Live, we are also streaming this video, and you can also have the posts on Instagram. You can see over there all the history. So the event commenced with an insightful overview of CSIO Chandigarh, followed by various interactive lectures and engaging activities. During the visit, students gained an opportunity in understanding the intricacies of laboratory operations and functionalities of various instruments. The event commenced with an insightful overview of CSIO. Such experiential learning helps in nurturing a profound interest in science and fostering an understanding of various developments in India among students. With these opportunities, the students get to interact with esteemed scientists and enable themselves to explore, discover, and actively engage with diverse scientific fields in the real-world setting. If you would also like to participate in such excursions and get a chance to explore, discover, and engage with various scientific disciplines in real-world setting at various eminent CSI laboratories or research organizations in India, then check out the link below to learn more about how you can participate. For any support, you can get in touch with our team through the given helpline number in the chat below. Facebook Live. Also, I would like to mention that on 20th November, CAMP will be organizing another offline teacher training program at the CSIR Central Scientific Instrument Organization in Chandigarh in association with the CBSE. For this program, around 70 teachers will be participating and attending sessions by Dr. Sachin Tyagi, Dr. Abhay Sachdev, Dr. Inderpreet Kaur, and many other scientists on NanoQuest, a journey of exploration through nano world. The NanoQuest program is designed to empower educators with a comprehensive approach to science education. It aims to provide teachers with the essential knowledge, tools, and pedagogical strategies to not only enhance their own grasp of scientific concepts, but also to spark a fervor for scientific inquiry in their students. By actively engaging in this program, educators will gain invaluable insights into leveraging the power of visuals, hands-on activities, and technology to bring science to life in the classroom. This, in turn, will better equip them to cultivate critical thinking, curiosity, and problem-solving skills in their students, creating an immersive and stimulating and learning environment that serves as wellspring of inspiration for the next generation of scientists and innovators. So if you are a teacher and would like to register for one such training program at your nearest CSI lab, please check out our upcoming CPD training programs list in website and feel free to enroll for them. For any support, you can even get in touch with our team through the helpline number and in the chat below. But coming back to the session, without any delay, I would like to invite Mr. Mohammed Said to enlighten our students with this exclusive workshop on harnessing satellites and Geo-AI for water resources. Mr. Said, you can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Am I audible to you? Yeah, perfect.
I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible. Perfectly fine,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you, and thanks once again to the camp organization team for giving the opportunity to have such a awareness program on a digital platform. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to have sessions with the young mind of India and the future who deals with all the phenomena regarding all the climate change and water resource management and all those things. So before, as I am already late, sorry for that, and I am going to show my screen. So give a minute. Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible. Like we can see it.
Okay. Thanks once again to the participants as well as the organization team for giving the opportunity to have a talk on the harnessing satellites and Geo-AI for water resource. So it's one of the hot topic nowadays because as we know there are lots of crises in terms of quality as well as the quantity concern. So we will explore how the latest technology are governing these phenomena. So myself Mohammed Saidul Hassan, and I am working as an assistant professor in Department of Civil Engineering, Arya University, Kolkata, and pursuing my PhD from IIT Kharagpur. So before starting into the depth, just we have some flashback. What is remote sensing, geographic information system, and geoinformatics? So remote sensing is basically the capturing the information without being in the physical in touch. So whenever the satellites are going to take the pictures and all those things, so they are using some electromagnetic spectrum depending upon the objective. Suppose someone is working on water, someone is working on thermal, someone is working on urban planning. So depending upon the objective, we have to use another different types of spectrum and different types of sensors. Okay, and geographic information system is the basically visualization of the features on the earth. Okay, and it is composed of the both hardware and software component. And the geoinformatics is the term which gives the idea of both remote sensing, both the remote sensing as well as the geographical information system. So this is the workflow. If we look into the picture, so if you see sun is the only source of energy. From there we will get energy, and some amount of energy get absorbed, and some amount of energy get reflected back. And this is a simple phenomena which is happening everywhere on the earth. So what happens? Some amount of energy when get reflected back, they are recorded in the forms of digital number in to the satellite, and they have their sensors. So that sensor is going to provide the information to the ground receiver stations and data warehouse. There are lots of systems are working there, and there are lots of organizations like NASA, JAXA, ESA, and Indian Space Research Organization, that is the ISRO. And depending upon the objective, we get the data from the server, and then we process, and then we will apply our knowledge based domain and expert domain to sort out our problem, whether it is related to our water resource, climate change, land use planning, irrigation, flood, disaster, drought, and whatever the type of even nowadays there are lots of things are coming into the pictures, like banking sector and accountancy. Even all those things are coming into the picture of spatial technology. That's why the location based studies are important nowadays. So these are the some component of the GIS, and if we see these are the some raster data which we get from the field survey as well as the satellite data depending upon our objective. And we how we procure the data sets, we visualize, and then we go for the ArcGIS software. This is the commercial software normally people are using, but right now QGIS version is also available for that. And then we, on the decision maker and the algorithm we will work is we have to choose the which algorithm will work for the which sector. Suppose someone is working on the image processing part, digital image processing, because different number of satellite data we get the information in the form of digital number. So which type of algorithm will work? Then the experts must have some background knowledge of ground truthing as well as the field as well as the objective. Okay, what I have to achieve. And this is a screenshot which I have taken from the University of Buffalo. And if you look, there are the things like public health and environment concern, ecosystem and biodiversity, disaster response and community resilience, and how the Geo-AI are playing their role. Okay, so based on that, we will develop our special infrastructure, so one can respond accordingly as per the requirement. It means that's why you see most of the coastal region and those who are residing in the coastal region of India, as well as the hotspot area of where the heat waves are coming, and those who are in the highland area. So they have some early warning system. Means the people those who are residing there, so they were allowed to have a mobile number to be registered. If there is something happening to that region, they will be get informed to vacate the location. In that case, we will reduce the losses as well as human as well as the economic purpose. Now this is the simple typology of the information system. Like there is a special information system and non-special information system. Special, just we will focusing on the special information system. A special information system is basically any type of information which is having the coordinate, okay, like latitude and longitude. Then the information is comes under the picture of a special information system, and then we will have a different type of surveys, and we will include into that picture. Then multi-stage of remote sensing data collection. These are the basically depending upon the objective, so and characteristics and the accuracy and at which level you want. So normally in early days we have a ground based remote sensing that we called a GBRS or low altitude. So basically we used to study for the soil contamination and all those things for a small region. Then there is a aerial surveying comes under the picture. That will require times any events variable spatial resolution. Means you have to fix your own sensors, and depending upon the your requirement, you have to take the pictures and you process. And the disadvantage is the high geometric errors. Means you need to have a very much skilled about the features. Means one can easily differentiate between water bodies and the bare land and vegetation and all those things. And then there is a satellite, and the beauty of satellite is that it gives you the temporal resolution. Means like a Landsat satellite, the we get the continuous images of any surface every 16 days of interval. So that is the beauty. Means if there is some hazard or some thing happens in any region, before the happening of the situation and post happening of the situation, you can do EIA and all those things. And ultimately we have some goal why we have to do such type of studies. So we work basically to achieve our United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, and that is depending upon the 17 characteristics. So that is the no poverty, means to elevate the poverty, and zero hunger, means every people can get their foods, and lots of things. You see SDG 13, that is the climate action, in which the youth are taking participated from globally, and there are lots of programs from United Nations to encourage the youth. And if you look, there is a life on Earth, like surface water bodies and all those things. That is the SDGs 9, how industry and innovation and infrastructures are working to achieve their goals. These things are, and SDG 11, that is the sustainable cities and communities, like what you say, smart cities concept, and green tech and green cities. These are come under the pictures of sustainable cities and communities. Now, as we know, we have the target over the study of the water. So we have to understand the what are the contribution of water bodies available on the Earth surface. So if you look into the figure, that fresh water only to 2.5% contribute. Rest maximum amount of water is contributed by ocean, that is the 96.5%. And in that 2.5% of water, you see groundwater is contributing 30% and glacier is 68%. Means basically most of the glacier regions are contributed by the fresh water. Maybe it is the Hindu Kush Himalayan region, or that is called the third Arctic pole, and northern and southern pole and all those things. Then the surface and other water bodies 1.2%, and you can see the contribution. So we have a limited percentage of water available on the Earth surface, so we have to take actions accordingly. This is one of the research how the groundwater depletion is taking place, and the sea level rise is happening. So these things are basically depletion is also increasing, sea level rise is also increasing. That's why most of the coastal cities are right now moving from their bank, and they are getting stabilized to some another places. For example, like in India, like Kolkata, Mumbai, even in Odisha, some states, other states are also more vulnerable to the coastal events and extreme events like cyclone and all those things. So you can see here we have a major aquifer system throughout the world, and this is one of the research and studies carried out by NASA, and that is the RODL. And if you look into our Indo-Gangetic plain, okay, and you can see and you can realize how these aquifer systems are vulnerable, and you can see other aquifer system, but Indo-Gangetic plain is more vulnerable to as compared to uh, other aquifer systems. So one must have to take care about it. And this is another report published by World Resource Institute, and if you see that the 54% of India faces high to extremely high water stress. So water stress, basically, if you look into the Rajasthan area and some part of the uh, South India, so these regions are going to be have a in future maybe water stress, and there are different types of drought, normally depending upon the precipitation characteristics, runoff characteristics, and the agricultural characteristics. But the GCOS, that is the one of the international organization, Global Climate Observation System, uh, they take groundwater as a drought because of the depletion there. Okay, and the demand is increasing day by day as the population is increasing. Food security is an issue, and the agriculture resources are also increasing. So that's why we have such a requirement. So these are the some of the newspaper just to have the awareness. So you can see the Kolkata stares at Delhi like a water stress. Means Delhi is already facing the water stress region in terms of quality as well as the quantity. But in near future, maybe there is a crisis will take place in the Kolkata. Although it is in a coastal region, 100 kilometer apart, we have the coastal regions, but still, but the thing is that we need to have a concern about the quality as well as the quantity. Now, let's see that is a terrestrial water storage. Terrestrial water storage, why we have take this term? Terrestrial water storage is basically the combination of groundwater, soil moisture, snow water. Okay, so these things are to be taken into the pictures, even the canopy water, subsurface water, and whatever the type of forms of water available on the earth, that is considered as a terrestrial water. So you can see the global water for the time period 1900 to 2008, the estimated depletion of global groundwater equivalent to 12.16 meters, and that is another research. You can see the maximum rate of depletion has occurred the time period between 2000 to 2008 with average rate of 145 kilometer per year. So it's a challenging issue, and India is one of the largest groundwater user in the world. So some status on the India. So India is 60%. We all know that most of the GDP is governed by the agricultural activities in India, and for the agriculture, we need required water, and that is contributed basically from the groundwater. So in India, mean rate of groundwater depletion was 4 centimeter per year, equivalent height of water. That is another work, and during the period of 30 years. From 1980 to 2010, decline of groundwater depth to varying from 4 meters to 16 meters. And you can see how these things are very challenging. Now, this is one of the latest satellite which is working in the terms of groundwater management or groundwater estimation in terms of height. That is the GRACE, Gravity Recovery and Climate Experiment. It is a joint venture which is launched between NASA and Germany. So the derived GRACE satellite data has been used extensively by the research to understand the groundwater storage condition. Means whether how much amount of water is whether depleting or increasing, it will give you the information in terms of height. And the RL06, there are lots of versions depending upon the accuracy, because when we are launching some satellites and another instruments, So there is some instrumental error and all those things. So uh, after getting reduce the error, they will publish this data set into the public domain. Now you can see from here how the water is changing. Means the blue water is showing you the increased water, means there how the water surface water and subsurface water is changing, and the red one is showing the depletion amount. So if you look the Indo-Gangetic plain, only focus on India region, you can see these regions are highly vulnerable, like in central or as well as the Indo-Gangetic plain. And this is a study which we have done. So this is basically we have used this is our India, and we have used 274 grid points, and depending upon the grid points, because these grid points use some values, and we have classified into different seasons like post monsoon, pre monsoon, monsoon, and post monsoon kharif. And depending on because these monsoons are categorized for our agriculture perspective, and it is classified as per the Indian Meteorological Department. So these are the something just for just giving some hints because you hope most of the students are from to 12th standard. So these types of things basically different organizations are working on the water sector, and they will trying to cope up with the accuracy, and that is like Center for Space Research, University of Texas, JPL, Jet Propulsion, and Geofunction, Jet. So these things are basically they are providing their own data set, which is acquired from the base data set, and depending upon their algorithm, and that is 1 kilometer 1 degree by 1 degree is basically the spatial resolution of the data set. So for this we have done some study over the 19 years, and using the GRACE and GRACE FO, means the GRACE satellite is launched in 2003 and working in 2017 after some technical errors. From 2018 we have launched another satellite, that is the follow-on mission, and then RL06 terrestrial water. These are the some tests, and this is the simple trend analysis because for a climate studies and all those things, we need to have some statistics, how the trend is changing, whether it is increasing or decreasing. For that, we have to use the Mankandal test, modified Mankandal test, linear regression, and sense flow. Sense flow gives you the rate of the change. Now you can see from here the magnitude and the trend of signal and annual terrestrial water storage anomaly. So if you see the reddish portion, that is in the negative, so most of the Haryana, Punjab, UP, Bihar, and parts of the Bengal, these are having the more challenging terrestrial water storage. Means there is a shortcomings and lacking of the surface water as well as the groundwater. Even these regions are having more severe to be ground stress, groundwater stress in near future. So you can see depending upon these, the most significant trend was negative trend. Means the water are basically declining in these regions: Rajasthan, Delhi, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, central part of Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and upper part of Madhya Pradesh, eastern part Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and Sikkim, and northeastern part of Meghalaya, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, and Mizoram, and lower part of Tamil Nadu. Similarly, positive increase means there is a water is increasing in the region, basically a part of Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and the lower part of the Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. And this is basically for the winter season. Okay. Now in the monsoon, basically in the monsoon and the rainy season, so the positive trend is basically Madhya Pradesh, north part of Maharashtra, and upper part of Ladakh, and the rest of the negative significant trend will observe. Now the thing is that, so what is the future scope in that? Due to excessive water usage, particularly in agriculture and poor governance, India's water terrestrial water storage is a big concern. Okay, And the conclusion of the study could be useful in planning and managing water resource, agriculture, and long-term socio-economic growth of the country. And the finding of this study are important for future water resources projections as well as engineering, scientific, industrial, agriculture. So this is that is one of the study, and this is another study, estimation of water budget, and this is not a good HD image, just a simple picture. And during my field visit, I have clicked in 2017 in the West Bengal, and district is Bankura. So how to calculate the water budget? Because you need to have you to know you have always have some budgeting amount. Okay, how even when you are going for some marketing and other things, so you know your budget. Okay, how much I have to spend. Okay, so in the same way, we have to calculate the water budget, the availability of the water in future. So this is one of the work which we have published in a journal of King Saud University, and hydrometeorological consequences on water balance in the Ganga river system under changing climatic conditions using land surface models. So these models are basically already the backhand. Some algorithms are working depending upon the objective, like which we have discussed, like Geo-AI and all those things. So depending upon our requirement. So if you look, that is our Ganga basin, because we are focusing on the Ganga basin studies. So there are 19 sub-basins. From here you can see that is there is a Yamuna, above Ram Ganga, upper stream of Gomti, Yamuna, middle Banas, Ghagra, Yamuna, Chambal, Tons, Gandak, Son, Kosi, Bhagirathi. So these are the basically the sub-basins, and hope most of the participants will be from these regions. So these are some in-depth analysis. So there is basically one model, global model, where they are providing data set that is called the GLDAS, that is a global land data acquisition system, and which is working under the organization, and they give their results based on their research organizations like NASA and GSFC and the NOAA. Okay, and these are some sorry, if you are interested, you one can have visit on gvani.gfc.nasa, and that is again we have to take the pixel resolution, that is the 0.25 to 0.25, and that is the size of spatial resolution of the grid data set which we are going to employ. And this is some basic fundamental equation. Groundwater storage means how much storage will take, that is the precipitation amount we are getting, and amount of evapotranspiration we are using, and in terms of surface runoff. These are the some output means outgoing water phenomena, and this is the income. Then whatever the water left, that will be terms as a storage. And if you see, that is the temporal distribution of precipitation from 1948 to 2019. So you can see how the things are changing. If you look in the Bhagirathi, so these things are changing, like the green or yellowish part gives the more precipitation as compared to pink and blue. So this is one of the visualization. So if you look at Yamuna upper, comparatively there is a low precipitation as compared to Damodar and Bhagirathi. Okay. So that is the another thing, and that is the evapotranspiration, how much of amount of water is get evaporated. So if you look, Yamuna upper is having the more evapotranspiration rate as compared to other. That is another challenge, because they are receiving less amount of water but having the maximum evapotranspiration taking place. Then this is another, that is the runoff. And if you look, the Bhagirathi have a good amount of runoff after 2000. So this study is carried out from 1948 to 2019, and this is basically from the 2000 onwards. There is a increase in the surface runoff, and this may be due to the urbanization and other things. And this is the water budget of the sub-basin. So if you look, most of the sub-basin are showing the bad response towards the water resource management and planning. But Yamuna lower and Ghagra, even Son, Gandak, Damodar and Bhagirathi, these 4-5 basins, sub-basins are showing good amount of water storage available in the sub-basin level. And if you look, these are the long period average precipitation, with the precipitation is increasing, decreasing, and depending upon that is the evapotranspiration sub-basin boundary. You can see that is the runoff. You can see the Bay of Bengal is having the more runoff, and then we have temperature like decreasing and increasing. Groundwater level depth over a period of 26 years average, and you can see the maximum depth is observed near Delhi and Gurgaon and other cities in the western part. And that is the water budget. Water budget is maximum in the lower Gangetic plain. And okay, and that's the base means sense slope. Sense slope gives the idea about the magnitude of the trend, means how the rate is changing. There is in terms of rainfall, that is the Q rainfall, Q evapotranspiration, Q surface runoff. Q is denoted for the sense slope. You can see here temperature, water budget, groundwater level depth. So you can see Yamuna upper, and the important thing is that the Bhagirathi. Bhagirathi is showing the Bhagirathi is showing the interesting from the positive trend. Evapotranspiration is also positive, but the water budget is ultimately it is showing negative trend. That is the minus 1.13, and that is a concern, major concern to look into that matter. In that things, if you look that Ghagra and Yamuna lower have the maximum declining rate of the water budget. And this is how the changes occur between precipitation, evapotranspiration, runoff, water budget, and temperature in the different Ganga basin. Now this is another table, that is the sub basin, and you can see how the frequency of the groundwater drought is happening. So groundwater is one of the major concerns, as we have already discussed. So these are the things. If you look at the extreme severe groundwater drought is happening in Kalisin and Chambal upper, and the severe drought is happening in the Chambal lower 2 times, and Kumti 2 times, and Tons 2 times. So this is one of the chart which gives an insight and idea which sub-basin is more critically in respect to groundwater. And this is another study because we are dealing with the water resource. So deterioration of agriculture yield. This is one of the study. If you look at this is India, and this is West Bengal, and this is one of the study area, that is the Dandeshwari River Basin, and this is the elevation profile. So for that we need some different types of data. That is the satellite data from the Landsat and other. Right now we have the European Space Agency, that is the Sentinel data, which gives the image of 10 meter of resolution. Then we get the slope. From where we get slope, we get the digital elevation model. Either we get from SRTM, then that is the Subtle Radar Topographic Mission, or the loss pulsar from the JAXA. And soil data you can collect from FAO, that is the Food and Agriculture Organization, or you can collect from the India, from NBSS LUP organization. Then these data set must be put into the SWOT database, that is the Soil, Water and Assessment Tool, which gives you an the important thing one must have to consider, because all the data set must be in UTM, and because the linear measurement is accurate in the UTM projection system. Now, the watershed parameter like flow direction, flow accumulation, stream network, delineate watershed and subbasin parameter. Then weather stations like rainfall, precipitation, temperature, wind, relative humidity, these things are need to be considered. Then we will go for the hydrological response unit, then parameterization and calibration. Then we run the model and we will get the output. So how it is the output? This is the output. You can see how much amount of output transfer from the salary for water is percolation, how much amount of discharge is taking place, how much amount of precipitation is taking, how much amount of evaporation and transpiration is taking place. Okay, and curve number gives the idea of runoff, and this is how much amount of surface runoff is taking place. Lateral flow is return flow. These things we will get from the SWOT modeling. And if you look, that is the year we have studied from for 35 years. So you can look at how the nutrient discharge is decreasing over the time. That is, and this is one of the challenge for the food security and the to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. Because okay, these things are very important to have a to achieve a United Nations Sustainable Development Goal by 2030. And so, and major geospatial trends, what are basically, you can see deep miniature geospatial artificial intelligence, that is basically your Geo-AI, when think and learn ability AI combined with the geospatial and discovery. So how the algorithm works to have a sustainable future for our high definition maps for self-driving vehicles. You can see these types of vehicles in most of the movies, as well as the Tesla is also working on that, and most of the automobiles companies are working on that. Smart cities like which I say green building and all those things. So how the sensors and IoT are work there. At which temperature we have to allow the and at which temperature we have to keep count. So all these things need to be have information which is digitally recorded. That is the UAV, and that is simply we call it drone, and this will this will help to take the early decision making, especially in the disaster prone area, or somewhere which is not possible to reach. So we will through our UAV and all those things we have to focus on the our problems to get the solution on the urgent basis. Then geospatial augmented, so you can see how the augmented reality are encompassed with geospatial technologies, the 3D virtualization, and using the GPS, that is a global positioning system. So, and that is the LIDAR. The principle is somehow similar. Those who have trade in the 8th standard, 9th standard, that is the sonar. The principle is more or less similar. Okay, let's use the basically it's an active sensor, and that is based on the light detection and bending. So these are the some of the open source GIS software. Those who are interested to explore these things, so you can just Google GQGIS, White Box, GAT, Saga GIS, GRAS, GBSIG, OpenStreetMap, OpenJump, UDIG, and Yoda. So I highly recommend you to GQGIS because the beauty is that you can programming. There is a algorithm you can use like Python and R. Both of the consoles are available in QGIS. These are the some of the learning source. That is the NASA RSET. They will provide the certificate also, and which will help you for your career in future for higher studies and all those things. So this is one of the wonderful website, and that is another is the IRS ISRO outreach program. This is one of the another beautiful website which we deliver the all the latest technology as well as the basics and fundamentals to advanced level of a special technology. So they will also provide the certificate and all those things. And the important thing that they are under the picture of ISRO. They are working with ISRO. So ISRO have a great respect in country as well as the world. So if you gain some certificate and all those things from ISRO, you are setting up some benchmark there. And the third is the European Space Agency. You can also get the information and the study materials from there. Now, after all, we have to talk about the career opportunities in that domain. So how we have to do, because these things are basically very important in the domain. So most of the countries have, right now the demand of technology, special technology increasing. So most of the countries are requiring the requirement of youth with skilled labor is requirement. So in India, the lack of a skilled workforce has always been a concern. So with the advent of new advanced technology, the importance of geospatial science is going to amplify. Okay, so this domain is going to be accelerated in near future. So because these tools are widely used in agriculture, irrigation, forest, transportation, and other geoinformatics includes GIS, remote sensing, and global positioning systems. Okay, and the every area ranging from urban administration and aerial vehicle technology to missile, e-governance, and even advertising marketing today depend geospatial data. Most of the countries in the world started specializing GIS after understanding the future impact. So in India also, those who want to study in that domain, one can visit their IRS website, and some of the South University like Anna University, I think they are providing their BTech courses in the geographical information system or geoinformatics. Okay, so one can explore there. Now, how this field career options, like one can join government and private job after the graduation in GIS and remote sensing, like ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, Survey of India, IRS, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, urban planning bodies, Google, Apple, NASA, World Bank, UNESCO, and if you wish. Higher studies, you can, after completing your BTech or BSc, candidate higher study, MSc or MTech or PhD in case wants to study further and gather more knowledge about in the field, teaching field, and work researcher in the field. So there is a opportunity. And now the third is the entrepreneurship. If you are working in that domain, you can have a industry consulting, apps development, GIS, and big data. So whenever you see big data, there is some Geo-AI is working behind that. So those who are interested for the geoinformatics domain, I request you just type on the Google and get in to the website of like ISPRS, International Society of Photogrammetry and Remote Sensing, IGRAS, that is the International Geoscience and Remote Sensing Symposium, NASA, ESA, NASDA, CNES, DARA, CSA, and NRSA. So these are the basically some renowned organization who are working in the field of remote sensing. And this is some of the field work and the which we have done, because in remote sensing there are some work which is required for the verification, because all things we are not depending upon the whatever the satellite information are providing. We need to have some ground validation. This is one of the work which is in the subsurface mining in on the Raniganj area in West Bengal. That is another groundwater sampling in the area of Bakura, and this is a drone survey training, and this is basically the crustal deformation mapping during our field visit with our colleagues in Odisha. So thanks everyone, and have a nice day. And if anyone have any queries, so please let me know, and I'm happy to help. And thank you, and thanks for the having the patience.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Thank you so much, sir, for delivering this insightful session on the harnessing satellites and Geo-AI for water resources and helping us to discover integrating satellite-based remote sensing data and geospatial artificial intelligence techniques, improve the understanding, monitoring, and management of especially water-related aspects. Thank you so much, sir. And I think now we can move on to the questions. And so if you have any questions, please raise your hands and I will pick you up one by one and you may ask your question to Mr. Syed directly. So first of all, we have Vishwa Panchal. Please, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Sir, I have a question. I understand everything.
Yes, you're audible. Can you please ask your question? Vishwa, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, I have no question, sir.
You've written your question.
No, I have no questions.
Okay, you don't have any question. Okay, your hand was raised. Okay, so we have a question from Shreyas Patil. Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, sir. I have a question that why Haryana, Delhi, this region receive maximum rain or and winter cold.
Basically, the thing is that right now the surface phenomena is not depending upon the only the what the anthropogenic activities is going on, like some agricultural activities and rapid urbanization. Okay, the thing is that the global circulation also. So right now most of the studies are showing if you look कि हमें क्या लगता था कि इन जनरली ऐसा लगता था कि जून और जुलाई के टाइम में ज्यादा बारिश होगी during the monsoon period, but most of the studies are showing that the precipitation pattern is changing. Like in pre-monsoon season, most of the precipitation are taking place. Like in March and April, we are seeing the lots of precipitation are happening. So something is the impact of climate change is which is we are going to study. But right now these things are happening. So it's still there is a lots of gap in research is lagging in that. So one can make their positive research in that domain. So one can understand how these things are happening and how these things are correlated with each other. So there right now I am also studying on that phenomena. So it is showing that whenever there is a more land use pattern is changing, means there is some agricultural land and is converted into some urbanization. So that conversion is also affecting somehow the global precipitation pattern, or sorry, micro level precipitation pattern also. So these things are need to be considered as a one of the threats as a global climate change.
Thank you, sir.
So the next question we have is from Yeshwan Dontar Boria. Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? Yeshwan?
Good evening, sir. My name is Sir. My question is that sir, now it's that the are being polluted by humans. So, with the help of satellites or GeoAI, how can we control these type of activities which are polluting the water sources or reducing the water sources on the earth?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Sir, nowadays we can observe. Sir,
Yes.
nowadays we can observe that the water sources like lakes, oceans are being polluted.
Okay.
So, with the help of satellite technology or GeoAI, so how can we reduce these type of activities which pollutes the air? Sorry, which pollutes the water?
For that, there is a Sentinel-5P, okay, that will give the chlorophyll concentration and other turbidity of the water you can measure from there, okay. So basically what happen when we are releasing any type of pollutants into whether in terms of surface or subsurface phenomena. So it is when you are marking or delineating any pollutant, okay, so one can just give some feedback using some a Geo-AI technique, like some algorithm, like suppose someone is working on SVM, support vector machine, or someone is working on deep learning, like a softmax function and all those things. So one can characterize how the impact is like predicting the future condition. So one can know, okay, how these pollutants are moving from here to here. So we will create some types of barriers to reduce that thing, okay, that pollutant. That's why nowadays, if you look into some papers or some recent articles, there is a nature-based solutions are coming pictures. So how the GIS, GeoAI with nature-based solutions, we are going to cope up with that type of pollutants, whether it is a lake or ocean and other things. So at the end of the day, these things are basically governed by, or they are deteriorated by the anthropogenic activities. So for that, most of the government agencies are making by laws how much amount of waste or what contamination you need to have to dispose into directly into the any source of water. So these things are under the review, and I hope we will complete it in near future. So using that technology as well as the Geo-AI and all those things, we will create some barrier to reduce the pollutant contamination from there. And even someone is suppose someone is discharging huge amount of pollutant into the, so from the satellite imagery, we will get the information particular region having the more turbidity or more less turbidity. We can quantify the quality of the water available in that region. Okay, so for that we have some algorithm like supervised classification and supervised classification, which you will learn in future basically. So and it deals with the right now we are also working on reinforced learning. Okay, means the combination of supervised as well as unsupervised to give the better output or better mapping visualization. So these things are under the research, and a few works are already carried out right now.
Can we move on to Dishita Dubey? Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
Good evening, sir. So my question is that, like in some of your above slides, you had told us some of the factors that affect the groundwater level. So, sir, are there any other factors that affect the groundwater level? Are there any other factors?
Yes, somehow basically what happen, there are lots of factors like suppose if there is a temperature is rising, okay, means there is some amount of the surface water whatever available on the earth, they are getting evaporated. In the same way, they are somewhere directly and indirectly affected the soil moisture, and soil moisture basically gets from either from the precipitation as well as the some infiltration, the groundwater get recharged. But what happened basically, when you are preparing some urbanization, okay, आपने कहीं पे एक घर बनाया या कहीं पे आप कोई एक जगह पे आपने एक बड़ा सा एक प्लॉट में आपने घर बना लिया, तो इनिशियल डेज में what happened, there is a precipitation, they when there is a no urban structure and there is a no place of home, barren land, or you simply say the open field, so whatever the precipitation comes, they will get infiltrated into the water bodies or in groundwater. But right now, due to urbanization, whatever the precipitation comes, they get affected by the surface impervious layer. Okay, they create a blockage between the surface so groundwater infiltration. So whatever the amount of precipitation coming, they directly comes under the picture of surface runoff, and they turn. That's why the one of the term, that is the urban flash flood. Most of the urban cities are facing with the urban flood. Due to that kind of structure or impervious layer we have prepared or we have designed over a surface of the earth, which reduce the groundwater infiltration, and reduction of groundwater reduction ultimately results into the what is the groundwater loss or depletion. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
think we can just take two more questions. We go with Swayam Das. Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? Swayam?
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. My name is Swarm. My question is that the global urban heating is caused by many reasons, but I need to know the main reason.
Sorry.
I think there's some disturbance with his internet. Swayam, can you type in your question?
There is a question in chat box, so I have to. I didn't have explore regarding that. So that is one of the new technology, and I appreciate the work by IIT Kanpur team. So those and this will definitely help our resolving our precipitation crisis, because the changing pattern of precipitation is directly indirectly affects our farmer. Okay, the suicidal rate among the farmers is increasing. Why? Because they are facing the drought condition. But with the use of this technology, if we promote in proper way, so definitely we will cope up with the challenges of the climate change and all those things, and we have some healthy environment. So I have to explore that things. So sorry for that right now.
Yeah, I think we'll just take one more question on having a lot of questions in the chat box. I think we'll go one more question by Kaushal. Kaushal, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Good evening, sir. My question is that dangerous droughts are happening all over the world. So, what are the ways can we prevent them from happening?
Best way. So at the ground level, basically what happens, these things are basically not a one by one solution. Okay, it's a synergetic work. Okay, so it's my suggestion, because lots of organization and government are working on that. But as an early career, one can tree as much as possible. Make your community, your living area, and all those things. At least when you are reducing some single amount of carbon dioxide and another particulate matters into the atmosphere, you can reduce. Because your single contribution may be computed as a long-term effect to minimize somehow your contribution towards the global climate change and all those things. So when you get your birthday, so plant a tree and some green vegetation in your balcony or garden and some another field area. Okay, so you can contribute it to combat with climate change and drought and all those things. Okay, thank you, Kaushal.
Okay, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to Mr. Said for taking the time and sharing his expertise with us. We are immensely grateful for your time and knowledge. Thank you so much for making positive impact on the lives of our students. We really look forward to, many more future opportunities to collaborate with you and your team.
Okay, thank you, and thank you to the team and organization and the students. So please look into the concern of climate change. There is a lot of opportunities and a scope. You know the technology, you just need to implement that, how to optimize the things. And whenever you need any type of help, just email to me and you will get the information within 24 hours. Okay, thank you, and have a nice day. Thank you, sir.
So before you leave, I just like to mention one more thing, that since there are many students, who have many questions and the questions have gone unanswered because we are restricted for time. So will it be possible if I can collect their questions and I can mail them to you, and whenever you're free, you can answer them?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll just tell to the students that I'll be sharing my email address, and you can, if you have any question that you'd like to ask, sir, you can mail them to me and I'll compile them and share it with sir. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not the least, for the students, I would like to remind you that registration for NASTA 2023 and the scientific excursions are open. To know more about the camp's upcoming scientific excursion and how to participate in them, please check out the link in the chat below. Don't miss out the opportunity to visit various prestigious lab and organizations like the CSIR, ISRO, DRDO, and many others. If you have any further questions or need additional support, feel free to reach out at any of our social media handles or helpline numbers. We are here to assist you on your path to success. Thank you for your active participation and dedication to your personal and professional growth. In case you've missed today's session, you don't have to worry. You can watch it again as the recordings will be available under your student login. So how many of you found today's session helpful? Just any other thumbs up. Great. So great. So well, I have a great news for you. We have a similar session coming up on 23rd November on the topic how satellites are changing India. This session will be conducted by CAMP in collaboration with the Indian Space Research Organization. If you are interested to participate in that workshop, please use the link in the chat below to register yourself. Also, do share the link with your friends. But before we end the session, I would like to mention that we would love to hear your feedback so we can keep improving our content. Please fill out this quick workshop feedback form and let us know your thoughts. And don't worry, your answers will be anonymous. Through this feedback form, you can let us know how we did with this workshop, how much you enjoyed today's session, what you learned, and what workshops would you like to attend. Thank you so much. And we would also appreciate if you could share a small testimonial video describing how this knowledge sharing session by CAMP helped you. You can either upload the video to your social media handle and tag us, or share the video with us and we'll post it directly on our social media handle. So how many of you want to share your video on social media with us? Nobody? Okay, come on. So, Kaushal, Nipun, do share your video of how much you enjoyed today's workshop. And I hope many other students can also be sharing their workshop feedback video. Let us know how much you enjoyed. Make a small 30 to 40 seconds video and describing how much you enjoyed the workshop or what you learned. All right? Perfect. So now we will end the session and we'll all meet soon for another exciting session by CAMP. Thank you so much. I'll just share my email address so you can type in your questions before I leave. So you can mail your questions that you'd like to ask, sir, and I'll share it with him and get back to you with the responses. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Happy Diwali in advance.